Okay, so today in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest mistakes that you can make when you're building a spec home. So this is definitely something to avoid, or rather, this is definitely something you have to do if you're building a spec home before you even start building your spec home. So get ready. Yep, I'm back in the vest. It's fall time, 2020. It's funny because I was just thinking as I was looking at myself here in the phone camera, the first video that I did about building a spec home or how to build a spec home part 1, I was wearing my vest. So I think I did that it was maybe like February or March of earlier this year. And now here we are getting towards the end of the year, and things have come full circle. I'm growing my hair back as well. So all right, let's get into this video. Enough about my nonsense here. Selections. So, they may seem like an afterthought at this point. You're more focused on what the build price is going to be, and you're more focused on when you're going to be able to start, when it's going to be finished so that you can sell it. But what you don't realize is that the selections are one of the most crucial things to knowing exactly what it's going to cost to build and to getting the home done quicker. Speaking with a client yesterday regarding how they can streamline their business more, reduce the amount of stress and craziness that comes along with building a home, and looking for some systems that they could maybe put in place in order to just kind of streamline things a little bit more, maybe get the home done a little bit sooner, not feel like they're always, under the gun to make a decision or things will be delayed. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I mentioned client. So I do have a consulting service. It's $100 a month. And a lot of times we'll have an hour-long conversation. You as the client will have questions about certain things that you'll want to bring to your business, or maybe you haven't even started your business yet and you're just looking at what you should do first, how to obtain financing, find the right bank, how to find the right house, how to make sure that the build price is going to be the right price, anything and everything. And then as we're talking, there's always a lot of things that come to my head that I'll end up telling you and giving you that you probably may have not thought of yet or haven't even asked. So it ends up being about an hour-long conversation. There's so much good stuff that's covered, and we have a conversation like that once a month, and that's pretty much what it is. Before we go in for the building permit, we require that all of the selections are completed. So they've already gone out and they've picked their flooring, their cabinets, their countertops, their plumbing fixtures, the exterior stone, the siding color. That way, once we start construction, once we go in for permit, some of these things have really long lead times. And so if you can order everything right away, right off the bat, that's going to kind of speed up the build time. And so yes, that's something that we do with our customers, but it's also something that we do with our spec homes. Before we get started, we've got everything picked out. All of the exterior colors, all of the interior colors, windows and exterior doors especially. If you've got all of these selections chosen, the first thing that it does is it allows you to build the home quicker, because you're able to order, number one, your windows and exterior doors when you're going in for permit. For us, the lead times can be a month, sometimes over a month. With what was going on with COVID, a lot of these places that we're getting lumber from, that we're getting cabinets from, windows from, they're working at a half to quarter capacity. So they don't have the output that they used to have. So instead of, cabinets having a 3-week lead time, it's 7 weeks. So that's something that you need to prepare for. And if you don't want to spend another 2 months building your spec home, which why would you? As soon as you get that done, that's when you can sell it and make the money on the home. You don't want it to drag on forever, but you want to make sure you can order these things as soon as possible. So if you go through and you make all of your selections before you even go in for the building permit, Now you've got all that stuff done and out of the way. You can order those. You know, a lot of plumbing fixtures too can take weeks or months. There might be certain plumbing fixtures that could be on back order for 6 to 8 weeks. So if you order those plumbing fixtures a month before the plumber needs them, and the kitchen sink faucet is on back order for 2 months, now it's not there when the plumber is there. So now you've got to have the plumber come back after the house is done. You got to put in a temporary faucet, which you're going to pay for. You're going to pay for the plumber to come back and install. So you're going to lose money. And then when the house is all done, you're not going to have that showpiece faucet that you wanted there. You're going to have this, you know, cheap temporary one that's in there. So number one is, you know, doing the selections, getting them all out of the way, and allowing you to order everything as quickly as you can and right off of the bat. So that way it ensures that you have a streamlined building process. The other really cool thing about doing that, it's going to eliminate so much stress. This may be even more important than the first thing that I talked about. So if you're making all of your decisions up front, and yeah, there's a lot of decisions to do, and as you get into your second, your third spec home, as you're doing this for a little bit more, as you're doing this for a little bit longer, you're going to know what things work. You're not going to need to go to all the showrooms and look at the cabinets and meet with the cabinet designer and meet with the flooring person. You know, we actually have somebody that we depend on at the flooring company that we use. We've been working with her we've known her for over 20 years. She had a kitchen and bath design background. We trust the selections that she makes. She does helps all of our clients with their selections. So we can tell her and give her the blueprint and say, this is the allowance. This is what we have allotted for the flooring, for the tile shower. You know, pick what people are picking, pick what's popular, pick what you know is going to sell. Don't get too specific with things. You want to appeal to the widest group of people, and we trust the decisions that she makes. So that would be one little tip, is if you can find a cabinet guy or gal, or a flooring guy or gal that has that expertise that you can rely on. Same with light fixtures. You know, at this point, we're able to tell the lighting company, hey, just here's the blueprint. Send us over a package of what you think will work best there, and then we can look at picture. Here's the dinette picture of the fixture. Here's the foyer fixture. Here's the pendant. So, you know, and we can then okay those, as opposed to having to go in and pick everything out. You know, countertops. Once you know that there's a countertop that's neutral these days, that's light in color, and that's not too expensive, and that most people seem to like when they see it, you just do that in every house. You know, and you know, customers, of course, they're doing custom build. They can pick what they want. But if you're doing a spec home, this is doing it for the purpose to have a streamlined build, to not have headaches when you're building, and to make a profit, and to appeal to the widest group of people that you can. So doing all of the selections up front, and again, once you get further into it, it's going to be a piece of cake. You'll be able to sit down at your computer, open up your selections form, fill it out. You're going to be able to send that out to all of the subcontractors. That way they know exactly what to order. And the other little bonus with this too is when you're sending your blueprints out to get a bid and to get exact numbers, so that you know exactly what it's going to cost to build this house, and you already have an idea of what the sales price is going to be, so you know potentially what you're going to make on the house. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you get numbers from every trade regarding every little, you know, dumpsters, porta potties, how much the plumbing's going to be, the trusses, the windows, the plumbing fixtures. You fill in your budget sheet, and once every blank is filled in, you know exactly what the build cost is going to be. So if you've done your selections ahead of time and your blueprints are finalized and you're sending that out to the contractors, you're getting exact amounts back from the plumber, from the window supplier, from the trim carpenter, because you've got the exact materials, the exact faucets, all of the exact things that you're going to be using in that house. So think about this. If you sent your blueprint to the plumber and the plumber needed to give you a bid how much it's going to be to, rough plumb the house, do the underground, and then do the finish, supply the toilets, supply the fixtures. Well, if they don't know what fixtures you're going to be using, and maybe they just use a baseline fixture so that they can give you your number. You need a number just so that you can, have the number there for it. Well, if you don't have those faucets chosen and they base their pricing off of different faucets, your number is not going to be accurate. So you're going to get done with the house and, oh, my plumbing bill was, $2,000 more than what I thought it was going to be. And that just comes right out of your pocket. So it's just good to have all of that information up front. So number 2, doing those selections, it's just going to alleviate so much stress. And then you've got that bonus of getting accurate bids back. And we'll talk about that coming up. But how great would that be to start the building process and to not be getting phone calls from, all of these different contractors? Hey, what are you going to be doing here? What are you going to be doing here? It's not specified on the print. What type of flooring are you going to be doing in the house? If you haven't picked the flooring that you're doing in your house, and you've got a basement in your house, or you've got a second floor and you've got stairs going from the first floor down to the basement, or the first floor up to the second floor, it can make a difference. If you're going with a 3/4 inch solid hardwood compared to a thinner laminate product, the carpenter needs to know how to build the stairs. They need to know what the floor thickness is, because here in Wisconsin, the building inspector will check to make sure that there's the proper height for each tread, for each step. So if you've got a really thick floor on your main floor and the carpenter builds the stairs thinking that there's going to be a thinner laminate floor there, well, now that thicker floor, now you've got less of a step for the first one, and then all the other ones don't match up. And the building inspector, I've had when I expedited houses, and this was, multifamilies that I did, but the same thing, we would have the house or the condo unit all completely done. And we would have the stairs carpeted going from the, the first floor up to the second floor. There were times we had to rip that carpet off and rebuild the stairs. I had to have the framers come back and rebuild the stairs. So I have to have the carpet installer rip off all the carpet. I have to have the framers come and tear out the stairs and rebuild them. And then I have to have the carpet installer come back to reinstall the carpet. And who pays for that? They don't. They didn't have the right information. So it's on you. And if something like that happens, again, that's eating into your pocketbook. So it's just hugely important that you have these selections done. And again, one of the best things about it is as you're going through the whole building process, you're not under the gun. Oh man, I got to figure out what tile I'm going to do. I got to go get this tile because the shower guy is going to be there tomorrow. So I got to pick everything out. I got to make sure it's in stock. I got to bring it over to the house. If you pick all that stuff out ahead of time and the tile installer is working for the company that you picked it out from, that's all you have to do is pick it out. They're bringing it over there. They're installing it. You're not getting a phone call of, hey, what are you going to do here? What do you need me to do here? Because there's nothing more frustrating than, you going about what you're normally doing in your normal day and getting a phone call from one of the subs saying, hey, I don't know what to do here. I need to know what I need to do here right now. Otherwise, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to have any more work to do. That's the worst possible scenario, because if that happens and one of the contractors pulls off of the job, what if they can't come back for 2 weeks? Or what if you can't get the material there that they need for 2 weeks and now you've got a 2-week delay, and all of those things add up. So it's hugely important to do the selections ahead of time. Now, this is something that I offer my clients, and I am actually going to be putting a course together, super detailed course, all about building a spec home, everything you would want to know. I'll have different forms that go along with it, but this is something I've offered my clients. I've got a sample selection form that you can use, and you can actually fill in the blanks, you can add things, you can delete things out of there, but it's almost like a checklist that you can use so that as you're making your selections, you know exactly everything that you need to pick. It's going to guide you. So the first section is the foundation. And it's going to talk about, are they 8-foot walls? Are they 9-foot walls? Is there an egress window? What color is the window well going to be? Next category, front door. What's the model number for the front door? What's the model number for the side lights? what's the model number for the fire door between the garage and the house. So now you're picking all of these things. You get done with the selections form. Now you know you've made all of your selections, and you can send that here window and door supplier. Here's everything that I need. Colors. Yes, there's going to be grids on all the windows. No, I don't want it obscured panel of glass in the master bathroom. Here's the model number for the front door. So now when they're giving you a bid for what it's going to cost for windows and doors for you filling out your budget sheet, it's an exact number, and you can actually order this stuff right now. I mean, how great would it be to be having your spec home built? The framers are there, and you're stopping over there every day talking with them. And, hey, Mr. Framer, when are you going to need the doors and the windows by? Well, you know what? I'd really like to have them on Friday. You're over there on Wednesday. I'd really like to have them on Friday. So that's 2 days from now. They're already sitting at the lumberyard. You've ordered them ahead of time. They're already there. You call the lumberyard. Hey, I need you to drop off the windows and doors on Friday at the job site here. That way, the framer, he can just keep moving along. He's not going to pull off because, well, the windows aren't going to be here for 2 weeks. So now the framer leaves. He goes to start another house. Maybe that guy's got everything there for him. So he's there for 3 weeks, start to finish. He doesn't want to pull off. He's going strong on it. Everything's there. So now he's pulled off at your job for 3 weeks, and now you've got another 3-week loss there. So doing the selections ahead of time, filling in that selections form, it's so crucial. Again, I'll offer the selections form in the course that I'm going to be putting together. And if you're a client of mine, that's something that would be included with that as well. The third benefit to doing the selections right off the bat is, say you end up meeting with somebody, and this has happened before, where there's just a foundation in the ground. The framers haven't even started yet. And you get a call from a realtor. Hey, do you have anything that's going up? I've got a client that, they just sold their house. They're looking for something. They'd like to be in a specific area. They want something newly built. Well, yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, I do. Right now, it's just a basement. The framing hasn't started, but that means that, they could pick some of their own finishes if they wanted to. They could kind of customize the house if they want to. And in the one instance that this happened, the people were they were loving that. Really, we can kind of customize some of the things. Yeah, exactly. So they got to have their own building process. They got to follow along with the whole thing. And the beauty of doing this was that they took over the construction loan. They went and got a construction loan because we were so early into the process. Once they got their construction loan, we were paid in full. And now we were just building the house for that person. We already had the foundation there, so it's not like we had to redesign the home. They could pick finishes. That was pretty much it. Pretty easy. But that allowed us to go and start another house right away because we had already sold ours. And one of the reasons we were able to do that is because we had selections done. So when the client came in, it's hard for people to visualize, especially if it's just a basement, what's going to be going on there. So it's your job to, sit down with them, go over the blueprints, kind of walk them through the blueprints. But then the other thing that goes along with that is they're going to want to know, well, what color siding are you going to be doing? What color roof? How much stone's going to be on the house? What color stone? Are you going to be doing stain cabinets or white If you've got all that stuff picked out ahead of time, that helps complete their vision. Now, again, they can still change some of this stuff if it's early on, but sometimes they don't want to. They're looking for something that they don't have to do a lot of work with. They've maybe seen things that you've done before. They're happy with what you pick. They're good with what you pick. But if you've got those selections made, hey, yeah, go look at this house up the road here with this address. That's the color roof, siding, and stone that we're doing. This house over here that we're building, they've got the same color cabinets that we're. So you can bring them through and show them all of the exact things that you're doing. You can even send them to the flooring company, to the cabinet company to meet with the flooring person, the cabinet person, and then that flooring person or cabinet person can show them, here, this is the exact, cabinet door style and finish that's going into the house. These are the countertops that are going into the house. It helps complete that vision. It's going to help you sell the home to somebody if you get somebody interested in that stage. So those are the three benefits to doing the selections before you actually start the home build, and they are huge benefits. So I highly recommend that those are things that you do. Okay, well, I really appreciate your time. I hope you found this video useful. The next video that I do, I'm going to be talking about another thing that you should do that will streamline the building process, that will give you a better spec building process. So that'll be coming up in the next video. Don't miss that. If you're not already subscribed, please do so and click the little bell for notifications so that you know whenever I put out a video like this. Thank you.